inspired collaboration. This collab is monthly. We post on the 15th at, I believe it's 7 a.m. Central, but whatever time this posted at is the right time. Forgive me. This is hosted by Call Me Crafty Owl, Alicia, and there are quite a number of us in the collaboration. There may be some new people joining in July. I'm not positive about that. Anyway, this is what our inspiration was for this month. It's a hexagonal, I believe it's a card, a layout of some sort, and I think it's a card. It's by Irina Kozar, which is ursi.blogspot.com. And yeah, anyway, this is, there will be a link below the video to this inspiration piece, and what I took from it is the pink, the sort of teal green, a little bit of brown, and the layering. I don't have any hexagons, but I do have these small doily it says doily punches by Quick Cuts that I had gotten at Tuesday morning a while back. So I chose to use these small ones over here, and I punched them out. Well, let me show you what else I used first. So I used that. I tried to use scraps, but I did a card. The card base is this Miss Sparkle and Company from Joann's A2 cards and envelopes, and it's in like a sort of a blush color. It's not really tan, but it's not pink. I'll call it blush. Anyway, it's a neutral. It's darker than ivory. It's like ivory with a little pink hint to it, so I call it blush. I also used one of these Project Life mats that I guess I also got it Tuesday morning, not too long ago, and I used this color here, and I just used one of those, and I used it as an afterthought because something else wasn't working out. I started off also using this stencil, because it's flowers that came with this Finnabair. This was from Michael's, Flowers on the Deck it was called, and the stencil was in the background. I may still go back in and either stamp this butterfly on, or I think I'm going to put a dimensional butterfly on actually, which I did not do and I meant to. So I used these Stampabilities clear stamps, and I only used 2 words, and it was thinking of. I used quite a number of scrap papers. I was trying to use scraps, as I mentioned, and I am not going to be able to tell you what paper pads these were from because they were just in a box of scraps, but this is one of the primary ones. That and this, they were all from the same sheet. This was just to show you the Project Life card color. I did use this pink and white dot. I used a cream cardstock that was from this scrap, and it was actually connected together, and I cut down one side to get a length off of it. And I believe that's it for paper. I also used this label, what's it called? Everyday Label Punch from Stampin' Up! I do not know if it's available anymore. And I used, and there went the punch. Sorry, I am out of room. I used this, I believe ZK Success border punch. I really like my punches, guys. Hang on, and my die cuts. Let me see, what else did I use? Oh, I used these 3 inks. These 2 I used with that stencil in the background. I ended up covering most of it up because I didn't like the way it looked. And this Rich Cocoa Memento I used for the word. And I used these Tim Holtz Ideology Alpha Tiles. Just 3 of those. And I believe that's it. So let me pause this for a second and I'll come right back to you. Hang on. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, well let me show you the finished card. And you'll have to forgive me because I've got Nouveau drops on here and they're still drying. And I don't know if I'm happy with the way I did them yet, but it'll be fine. Okay, so here it is. It's an A2 size, which I think is a lot smaller than this. Is the inspiration piece. Than the inspiration. I know this is terribly glary. Maybe that's better. I don't know. So here it is. This is the blush cardstock. This is a piece of the scrap paper I had that looks like that I used the edge punch on that I showed earlier. This back here in the background is that piece of Project Life cardstock, as is this up here. This is the Thinking Of stamp I used that I showed you already. This is a piece of pink with white polka dot scrap paper and a piece of cream colored scrap paper that I just cut into. This one I cut into like a banner on either side, and this one is like a banner at the top but a point at the bottom, because underneath here there's one strip that I had of like a teal paper with arrows on it, and you only see it at the top and the very bottom. So I had the point of the arrow going down, so I made the pink as an arrow going down. You can't really tell because I've now covered up the point with this little teal butterfly, and that is a die from Crafter's Companion that came with my Gemini. Just this little one of the 2 butterflies I got. Okay, and I have to put that away before I lose it. Okay, and then here are the 3 doilies I punched out with the Quick Cuts doily die cuts. I didn't want it to be too shiny blingy, but I wanted a little bit of bling on there, so I have these in my use it up stash. Is these, I really like them. Sorry guys, my phone went dark and then just cut out on me all of a sudden. That was really strange. Anyway, the butterflies are here. This one was just out of a piece of teal scrap, not the same as the Project Life. This was out of a darker pink scrap like this, and I just put a little white gesso on it, and then I put a little Distress Stain and spun sugar over top that to bring back a little pink. And that's it. And then I just used the Nouveau drops for the body of the butterflies, and this is I think it's called Oyster Gray, actually. I only have 2 colors, like Robin's Egg Blue and Oyster Gray, so I used the Oyster Gray. This was out of an ombre paper. These 2 were out of the same paper as this. And the ombre paper, I don't think I have much. I don't think I have any left because I cut out another one of those as well. And if you can see over here on the edge in this background, that underneath this teal piece is the stenciling. And I had used the angel pink on some of the flowers on it and the teal zeal, but it was looking too busy with these on top of it, so I took them off. So I think I didn't exactly copy this, but I tried to get my thing was the layering and the colors primarily, and some of the techniques, but I didn't have the hexagons, like I said. I liked how the word happy here was like up and down, and then birthday was stamped, but I did thinking of stamped and you going down in the tiles. And those brought out, I was trying to use other browns and I just wasn't feeling it. So that sort of grounded it a little bit and made it not too frou-frou-y, if you know what I mean. It's like, it was almost too bright for a little bit, but I think that kind of grounded it. And I thought I could have put the YOU here, but then the thinking of wasn't in the right place, and so I experimented, but I just left the doilies as they are because I think they're pretty enough. And the inside of the card is blank. Ironically, it's white, even though the outside's like a blush, but the envelope, I had another one of the doilies, plus these little swirlies on there are from when you do this border punch. I don't know if you can see. They're the punch outs from here, and you also get little hearts out of it. So I saved them to see what I can use them for. So I used two of the swirlies, another one of these, and then I had this one piece of paper left and it exactly fit right in there, so I put that in there. I got a tiny bit crooked, but not too bad. So that's the envelope for it. I didn't decorate the front, just the flap, and that will go like this. I think it turned out really pretty. It took me a while to do it today, I will not lie. Gonna say about 2 3/4 hours. But I did a lot of changing my mind and playing around with these doilies because they don't exactly fit together, and also the size of my card is smaller. At least this person had 9 hexagons on here and there was no way. I tried using 5 and I just wasn't liking how it was coming out. And also this person had the teal border over here, and I didn't want that because I liked the blushy natural color showing through the punch out over here. But when I needed to cover up this side a little bit, the teal just grounded these other banner pieces, I think. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And stop back again, because we're going to do this once a month on the 15th through the end of the year, is the plan, and it's a different inspiration piece each month. It's a lot of fun. And also come back to my channel soon, like in the next day, same day. I'll probably have some more things for you to look at. Okay, hugs, love, and peace. Take care. Have a wonderful evening or day. Bye.